Okay, so I knew this was gonna be really funny, but this particular clip is the funniest thing I've seen in a while. So I guess we'll just do a live reaction.
Jared has personally fixed more bugs in any given year than you have in your goddamn life.
To be fair, if you didn't produce that many bugs in the first place, you probably won't be fixing that many bugs. But hey,
The argument for shipping all the million lines of unreviewed code is that the test suite is good enough to catch everything. Then why are you saying you have so many annoying bugs in the Zig code base? Okay, I have a lesson for you,
just hearing that tone, I already knew something good is about to happen.
Andrew. It is lesson time. We get to learn together.
Yay!
There are many types of bugs. I know this is crazy to you because you only think of two bugs. You think of bugs in software and your users, which to you are also insects. But to the rest of the world, there's lots of different ways software can break. Sometimes it breaks in a way that is verifiable via a test. Other times it breaks in ways that are harder to verify, like in a long-running process, the memory leaks, which you...
So basically you're telling me that, so before Rust, there is just no way to test memory bugs. Like, there is just no way to detect memory leaks. Also, memory leaks are not a class of bugs. I feel like singling memory leaks out is just so funny to me, but hey, let's continue.
wouldn't understand because you're not using your code to do anything fucking real at all. Meanwhile, we have real production servers running Bun for months at a time that actually get hurt by these memory leaks.
Yeah, so how about you just don't leak memory in the first place? Like, I know, crazy hard, but how about you just try to maybe add some tests to see if there is any memory leak? Zig is a programming language that has a very strong meta-programming capability, and historically, memory leak detections are done through some kinds of meta-programming. The criticism is valid, right? If you have memory bugs and you want to prevent memory bugs, you should think about how do you test that in a language like Zig.
You seem to think if a team only hires extraordinary engineers, which you claim you have a monopoly of with your community, insane problem for you, but for the rest of the world, I guess, we just can't hire these great of engineers. Wouldn't it be cool if there were tools that could catch some of these other types of bugs? Like, I don't know, maybe a compiler with a server protocol that would communicate to the person or the tool you're writing the code with that...
So he is talking about LSP here. Don't get me started with the Rust LSP. Tell me you didn't write any Rust without telling me you didn't write any Rust. The Rust LSP is not enjoyable to work with whatsoever. And that is why JetBrains... fucking JetBrains needs to implement their own shitty Rust LSP equivalent, because the official Rust LSP, it is a bit of a mess.
Maybe there's a bug here, or...
Okay, here's the thing. You don't need LSP to debug your program. The even crazier thing for me, right, is he is totally embracing this vibe coding style. If you embrace the vibe coding style, there is even less reason for you to have an LSP, because agents don't fucking call LSPs, right? LSPs are very error-prone. They're designed for text editors and live text editing. That is why most of the LSPs are just crashing out constantly, right? Because they're basically holding a small compiled version of your program that is constantly changing. And you basically have to sync your editor state with the LSP state, which might also be different from the actual state on the disk. It is always a mess. I think LSP is just one of those things that people think it is good, and arguably it is good if it works, but the reality of the situation is that it rarely works.
Crazy, just hear me out. What if there was a way to check what memory was being used and what was using it? Like when a function borrows the memory and puts it somewhere else and does something, what if we could check that? You know, like a borrow checker. I know that tests are...
Yes, you do get all the memory safety inside of Rust, but once you cross the language boundary, and believe it or not, if you're developed in a JavaScript runtime, your code will be constantly crossing the language boundary. Don't ask me how I know. If you have developed any JavaScript runtime, or like any scripting language runtime in general, you would know that once you cross the language boundary, the life cycle becomes hard to reason about. Rust doesn't really help with that. Like, Rust makes itself easy to do. But for a project like Bun, the whole shtick of Bun is a JavaScript runtime that has a lot of built-in functions written in Rust or Zig. If you want to develop anything like Bun, I don't think the Rust borrow checker is buying you a lot of benefits there.
Great, but maybe there are some things that a traditional unit test can't quite find? Oh, what's that on my screen? Language empowering everyone to build reliable and efficient software. Oh, it has a type system and an ownership model that guarantees memory safety and thread safety. The problems that you can't really unit test for is
Again, first of all, you can in fact test memory leaks in Zig. Like, anyone that tells you that they cannot fuzz memory leaks are just wrong. What do you think the Rust compiler is? What do you think the borrow checkers are? If not just programs, it is program all the way down, right? Like, if you really want to have your own implementation, just like Jard said in his blog, you can have your own smart pointer. You can develop your own small smart pointer inside of Zig. The issue is not correctness, right? The issue is ergonomic. I'm not shilling Zig here, right? I've done a little bit of Zig programming. But Zig is not a language that I like. I personally prefer Rust more. I develop more in Rust. It is just when Theo says the benefits of Rust, it just screams to me that he doesn't know what he is talking about. He never wrote neither Rust nor Zig in any meaningful way. You can develop your own smart pointer inside of Zig. It is just going to be really clunky. Theo is constantly talking about memory safety. You know, memory safety in Rust doesn't cover memory leaks, right? Rust doesn't prevent memory leaks.
seem to think you can? You fucking imbecile. How am I, the JavaScript soy boy, more qualified than you at very basic testing practices for low-level languages?
You don't? You just straight out don't? Your claims are provably false. I don't know what to say here. This is crazy, man.
I know why. Because I'm not here to complain about somebody I'm mad about. I'm here trying to educate my audience on software development.
You're trying to spread misinformation on software development. Seriously, like if you're like new to programming, watching Theo's video is probably going to hurt more than it helps. It is going to actively hinder your ability to understand things because Theo is spreading so many misconceptions about different things. He doesn't know how JavaScript works. Like, just every single time where he talks about the async in JavaScript just makes me crazy. And he also clearly doesn't know how borrow checker works in Rust. And once you have those misconceptions in your mind, you might think, oh wow, we have this like magical language called Rust. It is going to clear up memory magically for you through borrow checker. It just tracks all the shit correctly 100% of the time. And there is no memory vulnerability at all. And also it's not like resource management, is largely logical bugs.
You fucking imbecile. You child. Do you see how many people just dropped bangers in my chat as I went on this rant? Because you're so God, I knew this was going to be bad. I did not expect he was going to say that the unit tests in Bun verifying behavior are enough to handle any memory errors. You fuck.
And also notice that in the original blog, Andrew said nothing about memory bugs. Like, he is just saying that a full green unit test doesn't mean that your program is void of bugs. I think that is common knowledge. I would be skeptical about millions of lines of code being migrated, AI or otherwise. Unit test gives you some confidence, but it is not going to be enough. I don't think Rust is the wrong technical decision here, because I personally think Rust is a better language to work with than Zig for the most of the part. Zig is not designed for something like Bun, right? Like, Zig feels to me that it is designed for like embedded systems and stuff where you don't even have a standard library. Rust is still very much reliant on the standard library, which is, you know, a better fit for Bun. The Rust philosophy feels, to me, at least more aligned with Bun. I think Theo just doesn't understand Rust.
Fucking kidding? I don't know if I can finish this. I'm so pissed off. What happened to the test suite being sufficient to catch everything? It's not sufficient to catch bugs in the Zig code, but it is to catch bugs in a million lines of unreviewed slop? This is the most damning thing I've ever seen a language author write. This is him outright admitting he cannot fathom how Rust has guarantees that Zig doesn't. He genuinely believes that unit tests are all it takes to prevent memory leaks. And that's why Zig...
The fact that there are memory leaks in Bun means the test suite does not cover memory leaks. Memory leaks are considered safe in Rust. Memory leak is not the point of Rust. The point of Rust is to avoid things like use after free. This is driving me nuts. Ugh.
It's a terrible language because its creator doesn't understand fucking memory, which is unbelievable.
You are the person who doesn't understand memory. You don't understand Rust, you don't understand Zig, you don't even understand JavaScript. What are you talking about here?
Took so long for the blog post to come out. You were doing engineering work that you should have done in the Zig code base since the beginning. This is like the whole article is full of absurd speculative reaches.
Like, okay, it is not speculative, right? In the Bun Rewrite blog, it is very clear that they segmented out Bun into a billion different crates. The fact that it wasn't like that before is concerning to me. I feel like the whole drama is stupid. I think Jart, the creator of Bun, was pretty chill. I don't like this log by Andrew because it seems weirdly personal. I don't understand why Andrew is getting so personal here. But Theo! Oh my god! I fucking hate Theo. I feel like I'm just like getting rage bait by Theo every single time. And then YouTube just saw me engage with Theo like crazy and just recommended me with more Theo. Anyway, that is all for this video.